Okay, so in today's math lesson, we're starting to divide using decimals. And as you can see in the first problem, we're taking 1.8, we're dividing it by 6, we're getting zero point 0.3. Now, how I like to look at it is taking that 1.8 and decomposing things a bit and taking a look at exactly what that 1.8 is. And we're going to turn this into 18. And as far as units are concerned, we're talking about 18 tenths. And if I'm going to divide this by 6, I'm going to wind up with 3, because 18 divided by 6 gives me 3, but it's 3 tenths. Because 18 tenths divided by 6 gives me 3 tenths. And there is my 3 tenths in standard form. Now what they do here for part B is now we're divided by 60. And what they want the kids to do, or what they want us to start thinking, is taking that 60 and breaking it up into two pieces. So we have a 1.8 divided by, now I'm going to deal with that 60. I'm going to break that up into a divided by 6 and a divided by 10. Theory being my 6 times 10 gives me that 60, so I'm breaking that up. And that's what they do here. And they put some parentheses around, so that here's the 1.8 divided by 6, and here is that now divide by 10. And here's that last piece, because your 1.8 divided by 6 gives me that zero point 0.3. Here's that divide by 10, which means you're going to lose a place value. If you recall, if we set up a nice little place value chart here, here's my 0.3. If I'm dividing by 10, once again, if you recall, dividing by 10 is the same as losing a place value, because every place value is a multiple of 10. So if I'm going to divide by 10, the 3 in the tenths will wind up as a 3 in the hundredths place. And if I fill in my chart accordingly, I'll wind up with 0.03 as my final answer, and there it is. Okay? So that's the theory behind it all. Now what I'm going to do is work a separate set of problems so you can see it all the way through. Okay? So here we go. My 2.4, I'm going to think of as 24 tenths. I'm going to divide that by 8. 24 divided by 8 equals 3. Nice little equal signs here, but it's 3 tenths. Okay? In standard form, we're looking at 0.3 or point, excuse me, sorry, or 0.3. Nice and neat in standard form. Okay? Now below, now we're going to divide by 80. The difference in the problem here are the divisors. 8 became 80, which means there's another set of 10 in here. 8 became 80. 8 times 10 gives me 80. So now when I divide, I'm going to be dividing by an additional 10. So I can rewrite the entire problem. 2.4 divided by, now here I'm going to split up that 80 into a divide by 8 and a divide by 10. And I can group these together because that's what I want to deal with first. Now you can, if you want, and I'll show you in a minute, switching these, and have my students ask that all the time. Can I switch these? Is it all right if I divide by 10 and then divide by 8? And the answer is yes. But for now, we're going to stick to this, and I'll show you the other way in a second. Okay, so once again, I have my 24 tenths divided by 8 gives me 3 tenths divided by 10. We're losing a place value. And 3 tenths losing a place value becomes 3 in the hundredths place. Looks a little like that. Okay? So once again, here's what it looks like in place value chart. Okay, my 3 tenths. I lose a place value. Becomes 0.03. Okay? Now let's check this out the other way. If I switch things around a little bit, let me take my 2.4, and instead I'm going to divide by 10. And then I'm going to divide by 8. Should work out just fine. Let's see. Let's group these together. I take my 2.4 and lose a place value because I'm going to divide by 10. So on the side, make another one of these charts. I'll put my 2.4. There it is. I'm going to divide by 10, which means everything loses a place value. So the 4 winds up here, the 2 winds up here, and I wind up with 0.24. So 0.24, 24 hundredths, divided by 8, So it's 24 hundredths. Divide by 8 gives me 3 hundredths. In standard form, 0.03. There it is. There's my match. 3 hundredths there, 3 hundredths there. So I can divide by 8 and then divide by 10, or I can divide by 10 and then divide by 8. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the deal. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.